Hello and welcome to the Virtual Racing League. Live tonight, the Atlanta 195 from Atlanta Motor Speedway, right here on V-Speed. Race 4 of 25 this season. Gonna be some fun racing action here tonight. The 1.5 mile racetrack here in Georgia. As Safe fares hard into the wall here in the practice session. Dylan Parker, one of the fastest so far in this session. Looking to continue after his good run last week. And last week's winner, Eric Hutton, we'll see if he is on the racetrack. He is, the 88 machine who took the victory at Talladega. Looking to go back-to-back here. Connor Horn currently fastest on the racetrack, though, and he already has a victory this season, and he get his second of the year. As currently Alec Martinez, your points leader. He is 6th fastest so far in the practice session, and tonight's race will be 130 laps, 195 miles around this slick, worn-out racetrack. We will have a stage break at lap 40, and once again, this is race 4 of 25, so that is all the race info that you need to know. Let's take a look at the weather here in Atlanta. 85-degree air temp, but 107 degrees on track, so it will be slick. But right now, these drivers lapping at under 30 seconds a lap for their fast lap times. And we have a pretty good sized field here. It looks like 24 drivers so far. We'll see if any jump in during qualifying. Oh, man, what a hit for Alec Martinez. We hope he's okay there. Connor Horn looking to practice his pit stops potentially. Really hot into the pit lane, but practice is going to wrap up here in just a few seconds. You see Keith Mayato looking for a rebound race here. He's been involved in a lot of trouble so far this season and comes into the race currently 15th in points, and only the top 12 will advance to the playoffs here in the Virtual Racing League. As Alec Martinez about to get on the racetrack and put his qualifying lap times down. The number 18 Nexus Esports car. And he is going to take his sweet old time. Let's see if anybody else trying to get up to speed quickly. Safe Fair is on the track up to about 140 here on the banking. Joe Stafford also getting up onto the racing surface early on in the practice session. Or qualifying session, rather. As you'll see these guys kind of sling around the high side here for lap number 1, and we'll go on board with Safe as he begins his first hot lap here at Atlanta. And yeah, I don't see Magic Man, Mr. Cabot, number 77, but hoping to see him here. He's had a couple good races to start the year, comes into this race at 5th in points. Safe Fair he is in a 3-way tie with Angelo Ronas and Jeremiah Vincent for 7th in points, so he's had a pretty good start to the year. Currently 2nd fastest on the board. You see the first position, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, at 30.08. Thinking he ran the low line, however. But Safe Fair is around out of turn number 4 and across the start-finish line for lap number 2. He goes from a 30.59 to a 29.979. Still not going to be good enough for the pole. As Jeremy Miller, the 30 car at Toyota Camry, currently fastest by about 0.03 of a second. And we'll take a look to see if anybody's able to take that time away. Jordan Ashland jumps to the top, and then Keith Mayato takes it away from him. Keith slamming on the brakes there. Gotta be careful not to get DQ'd for that. Dane Cruz in the 40 car. He goes to 4th on the board. And Alec Martinez out here. He's about to complete lap 2. 29.825. That'll put him fastest here in qualifying. So nice lap from your points leader. Yusuf Ghali here going passes start finish line, he will jump to third quick. The number 54 machine, nice lap there as well. Let's look at AJ STRAVATO beginning lap number 1. 30.22, actually completing lap 1. Currently 17th out of 18 qualifiers. Looking to pick that up here on lap number 2. So our 3 winners so far this year: Alec Martinez, Connor Horn, and Eric Hutton. And Alec Martinez, your points leader, he is currently sitting on the pole, but STRAVATO with an 8.37 nearly knocks him off, but he'll just have to settle for second for the moment. Jeff Wright across the start-finish line. He will go to 7th on the board. A couple more cars out here on racetrack. Marcus Emerson, the 22, has not gotten a lap time in just yet. He is really going to be pushing the limits here of qualifying, but should have some time. It's across the start-finish line at 29.962. Can he improve on lap number 2? That's currently 15th fastest. And a little bit loose there, I think, out of turn 2 might have cost him a good lap time. We'll see. As Jeremiah Vincent slowing down, he's going to settle for 11th quick so far. Angelo Ronas also exiting turn number 4. What can he get on lap 2? A 29.92. Emerson with a 90 flat. And that'll be good for 11th. Eli Hinton on the racetrack here. He's got 1 lap in at 30.424. He will have just enough time, I think, to get his second lap time in. We do see Adam Cabot here at the racetrack now, but he will miss the qualifying session, so he'll be starting from the back, along with looks like Eddie Trejo also starting back there. Could be about 25 drivers in tonight's race. As Hinton across the start finish line, 29.924. He'll go to 16th quick in the Dr. Pepper machine, and that means Alec Martinez will be your pole sitter here tonight. So congrats to Alec on that. Let's take a look at where your favorite drivers are starting in tonight's race. Rolling off from the pole, Alec Martinez, the number 18 machine. Great lap time there, 29.825. He beats out everybody else. AJ STRAVATO, though, going to be joining him on the front row. The number 33 Waste Management machine. He'll be rolling off second here tonight. In third position, Keith Mayato with the 29.856. And Dylan Parker going to be starting in 4th position. Rolling off from 5th, it'll be Connor Horn, winner from 2 weeks ago. And Greg Wellen going to be starting in that 6th spot. 7th is Jeff Wright, the number 48 machine, and Yusuf Ghali, the number 54, rolls off 8th. Jordan Ashland starts in 9th position in the number 27, and Taylor Butcher Benjamin rolling off from the 10th position in the number 1 car. In 11th, it's Marcus Emerson. Alongside him, Angelo Ronas in 12th. 13th is Jeremiah Vincent. 14th is Dane Cruz. 15th, last week's winner Eric Hutton. And 16th, Eli Hinton. 17th is Jeremy Miller. Rolling off 18th is Joe Stafford. Starting in 19th tonight, Safe Ferris. And rounding out the top 20, Elliott Butler. 21st is going to be Brennan Hattery. 22nd, Caleb Hattery. Those two have started next to each other, I think, every race this season. We'll see what they can do tonight. Lyle Sulford starting 23rd, last of the drivers to take a qualifying time. Thank you for the subscription for 14 months. Not your average Noah. Thank you so much for that. Adam Cabot, the Magic Man, not taking the time. He'll start 24th. And rounding out the field here, Eddie Trejo also not taking the time. He'll start in the 25th position. So some work for those drivers to do. But on the front row, again, Alec Martinez, AJ STRAVATO. These two have battled it out quite a bit this season. AJ has been doing very well on the Thursday night series, below the Double Yellow Cup series here on V-Speed as well. He has 4 wins in that series in the first 7 races, so Having a lot of success there. Has not had the win yet in this series, but comes into tonight's race in 4th in points. And, of course, Alec Martinez, your points leader, like we've mentioned a couple times. But going to be a fun one here tonight. Very excited to see how these guys manage the tires on such an abrasive old racetrack. And, of course, cheer on your favorite drivers. Let us know you're out there. Let us know who you are rooting for. I know we've got some Magic Man fans, some Jeff Wright fans. Got a couple AJ STRAVATO fans. And we'll follow along with those guys throughout the race. But for now, green flag in the air. And we're underway for the 4th race of the Virtual Racing League Cup Series in 2021. Alec Martinez, a big jump out in front of the field. And here comes Keith Maiato to battle for 2nd. Try and take that away from AJ STRAVATO here in turns 1 and 2. He has got a big push from Connor Horn, who's going to jump to the inside. Maiato now stuck on the high side as he tries to chase down the 18, but Martinez with a couple car lengths out in front. He'll hang on to the lead here at least through turn 4. And out of the corner across the start-finish line, he'll lead lap number 1. The lap 1 in the books. Martinez first, but here comes Connor Horn, 2nd position already in that 67 car. If he's this close to the front this soon, got to watch out. He can dominate a race, and got to be very careful to not let him do that. But here he is all over the back bumper of Alec Martinez as they go through turns 3 and 4. Martinez still a couple car lengths out in front. The 67, a little arrow tight right there. And behind them, Keith Maiato, AJ STRAVATO. These two no strangers to each other. And Jeff Wright right behind them, the 48 machine in the 5th position. He's had a pretty solid start to the season as well. Enters into tonight's race 3rd in the points. Yusuf Ghali in 6th spot right there. Dylan Parker under pressure from Jordan Ashland with the 27 kind of drifting up the racetrack here. Behind him, the 22 of Marcus Emerson, maybe looking for an opportunity to make a pass. But he is going to stay in line. We've got side-by-side Taylor Butcher Benjamin to the inside of Angelo Ronis. The Budweiser machine on the inside of the Adidas Ford Mustang cars kind of scattered down the racetrack as we have a battle for the race lead. Here comes Connor Horn to the outside. Alec Martinez down low. These two have raced it up a lot in this series over the last year and a half. Martinez beats him back to the line, but here comes Connor Horn with the momentum. Can he complete the pass down on this end of the racetrack? Gonna probably try and pinch down the 18 who's stuck right to that white line. And out of the corner, oh, big wiggle by the 67. That may allow Alec to get back out in front, but no, this Connor able to regain some momentum. The side draft working for him as they dive into turns 3 and 4. And oh, he slips right in behind Alec Martinez. That was so close to being contact. As these two putting on a show here early on in tonight's race. Got to be very careful not to make contact with each other. They both have wins, but wins do not guarantee a spot in the playoffs here in Virtual Racing League. They're just a bonus, really, to help you on your way, but you don't want to put yourself in a dangerous spot here this early in the season. Look at this battle, though, still side by side for the race lead as they go through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, look at the block there by the 18. He's going to go down to the middle. The 67 of Connor Horn down to the white line. Now they've swapped lanes. We'll see how this works out. Alec Martinez, though, might be able to hold him off. Not able to get the run out of the corner. But just almost able to clear himself. Not able to, though, as they go into turn 1. 67 of Connor Horn is still there. Alec pinches him down. I think Connor's going to have to back out of it for the moment. He's going to go in behind Martinez. Down into turn 3 they go. 1-2. Keith Maiato a few car lengths back now. Just watching those two battle. And he is pulled away from AJ STRAVATO just a bit. And then a few more car lengths back to Jeff Wright and Yusuf Ghali. Jordan Ashland with a good start to this race, up in 7th position. Started in 9th, so he's moved up a couple spots here. One driver starting to go the wrong way. Taylor Butcher Benjamin now under pressure from Jeremy Miller. A few drivers battling it up back here. We saw Safe Ferris in the 77 of Adam Cabot, who is sporting a different paint scheme tonight. Camping World Chevy Camaro. I think it's the same scheme as Daniel Suarez over the last week, but a good-looking race car. As you can see up in front of him, he's got a lot of race cars to deal with, but starting from the back, he's already made up about 7 spots. Trying to get the back bumper of Eli Hinton. As up in front of Hinton, it is Eric Hutton and Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Jeremiah Vincent all grouped up together here. Jeremiah down to the inside of Taylor Butcher Benjamin, the one up there in that high lane. But no advantage to either driver at the moment. Now Vincent with a bit of a drive into turn 3, but the one really sends it deep in there. Might not work out for him, though. Here he is under pressure from last week's winner, Eric Hutton. And Eli Hinton trying to make it 3 wide. I'm not sure he's got the car there. Hutton gave him room, but that was not going to work out. Thank you for the follow. It's the 18 of Alec Martinez. About 5 car lengths out in front of Connor Horn. And Connor starting to lose some speed here. Might have used the tires up in those first 5 or 10 laps. And he is falling into the clutches of Keith Mayato, who is waiting back there. As really the top 6 or so have started to pull away. Jordan Ashland about 5-6 car lengths back as they work down the back straightaway, and they are really battling hard towards the mid-pack here. Cabot to the outside of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. He's been making up spots left and right, but big check up here now is the 13. Oh, and the 40 of Dane Cruz nearly goes around off the nose of Safe Ferris. Or maybe that was off the nose of Elliott Butler. They are all staggered right now, almost 3 wide as the 21 machine of Eddie Trejo trying to navigate through traffic here. And the whole field within 5 seconds of one another, so still well in contention. As look at that move by Safe Ferris looking to get to the inside of Elliott Butler, and he is there, the nose underneath the left rear quarter panel of Elliott Butler, who gives him plenty of room, and that's going to open up the door for Eddie Trejo to make a pass as well, but Safe right where he started in the 20th spot, or right around the 20th spot. And Eddie Trejo climbing from shotgun in the rear of the pack there up to the 21st position, so he's passed a few cars. And Eli Hinton now to the inside of Taylor Butcher Benjamin. That one car going the wrong way early on in this race. Meanwhile, that battle up here for second is kind of stayed stationary, about a car length and a half between the 67 and the 36. As the 18 car starting to get smaller and smaller out in front. And the end of stage 1 is lap 40, so we're not even halfway there. Some drivers may elect to pit for tires at some point here. Even in stage number 1, they may try to run it out, but the fall off pretty significant at this racetrack. Already 2 seconds off the fast laps of the race. As Mayato now putting a lot of pressure on Connor Horn. Working out of turn number 4, the gap about a half car length between those two. Jeff Wright not far behind. He's made his way around AJ STRAVATO, who started to fade a little bit. So STRAVATO now under pressure from Yusuf Ghali. Maybe used up the tires there in the first few laps. But Yusuf Ghali, really big wiggle there out of turn number 2. And look at this, Dylan Parker to the inside of Marcus Emerson. Or maybe it's Emerson to the outside of Dylan Parker. As Dylan really early on the throttle nearly drives up into the door of Emerson. Has to back out of it. That's going to allow Mark to hold on to the 8th position. But an intense battle there, and it is not over. Still about a half car length between those two. Behind them, Greg Wellen, who started up towards the front in 6th. He's lost a few positions early on here. And up here at the front, the lead starting to shrink just a little bit. Connor Horn has found some more speed, and he's pulled a little gap over Maiato, but actually not too much. Here comes Jeff Wright, who maybe saved some stuff early on, and he's going to look to the inside of the 36. Keith not going to be able to shut the door, as Jeff Wright not able to get quite to the inside. Looked like he was maybe going to be able to there in turn 3, but not able to do so, as now the top 6 in line, and you see some different grooves starting to appear. These drivers moving up a half lane or continuing to circulate around the white line. Dylan Parker putting some pressure on Mark Emerson back there, and now Keith Maiato to the outside of Connor Horn. Connor going to kind of pull up the racetrack, not going to allow Keith to get there. And actually Jeff Wright with a big run out of turn 4. He might try and make the move on Maiato, who throws a bit of a block here into turn 1. Jeff not going to put the pressure on much more than that this early in the race. Drivers very patient in this series when they realize, you know, still over 100 laps to go. Some very good racing so far in the opening laps of this race from Atlanta. A lot of battling for the lead for lap after lap to open things up. Now everybody pretty much single file. We're going to go to a quick side-by-side commercial break. We will be right back.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with jugs. It's big, all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make Drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for baby's skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with Drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing Drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop Drops at your door. The naked truth is that Drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every Drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to Drops.com. The first one's on us.
Back on track now. The battle really is on for second. It's Keith Maiato, Jeff Wright, and Connor Horn, who currently holds on to it behind your race leader, Alec Martinez. And actually that battle's starting to die out. Now the battle for third, as Maiato still trying to hold off Jeff Wright, and succeeding in doing so early on here But the 48 now jumping to the outside. Can he get the leverage? The outside of Mayato, 36 able to slide up in front of him. But the 48 maybe with the drive down the back straightaway. We'll have to see here. But Keith Mayato hanging on to that spot for the moment. And behind them, AJ STRAVATO under heavy pressure from Yusuf Ghali. That 54 car has gained a couple spots early on. He's been up here putting pressure on STRAVATO, but unable to make the pass as of yet. Jordan Ashland has been able to reel himself back into the conversation up here in stage number 1, and of course the top 8 earning stage points. Dylan Parker currently occupying that position, but don't look now. It looks like Greg Wellen making the pass on Marcus Emerson and starting to charge back forward after losing a few spots early on here. And let's take a look here. Adam Cabot, one of the fan favorites, up to 12th position. After starting from nearly last position. Big wiggle there out of the corner, but able to hang on to it and still starting to close in on Angelo Ronas, Greg Wellen, and Marcus Emerson. That would get him up into the top 10 and would definitely be the drive of the first stage. As you take a look here, he started in 24th and now trying to take away 11th from Angelo Ronas. The 29 is going to keep the door open, and that 77 car will roll to the inside. And looks like he will complete that pass up here. It's still Jeff Wright putting pressure on Mayato, and they've reeled back in the 67 of Connor Horn, who kind of continues to ebb and flow and not really able to keep up with Alec Martinez either way. As that time by, Martinez the fastest on track by at least 1/10 of a second over the rest of the top 5. And then Dylan Parker actually second quick on the racetrack, just a few hundredths off your race leader. So Dylan's starting to make up ground here and might be able to challenge for a top 5 spot before the end of lap 40. But Alec Martinez has led every lap so far and looking to be in dominant form here. He's able to hold off the advances of Connor Horn for the entirety of this stage. And still about 8 laps to go before the stage is his, but already your points leader, going to try and build on that here with the stage win. And let's take a look back here. Yusuf Ghali not able to keep up with STRAVATO. A few car lengths back now, and then Jordan Ashland reeling him in, and then Dylan Parker, once again, one of the fastest on track. So Dylan really slinging it around the high banks here in Atlanta. You can see how loose Yusuf Ghali is up there in front of him. So on board with Dylan, who lost a few spots. Starting to make him back up now. He was, I believe, closer to the 10th position, maybe even outside the top 10. And really trying to drive the wheels off of it now. In front of him, look at that big slide by Jordan Ashland. That's going to allow Dylan to close in just a couple more car lengths. And those two are about to get battling up here for 6th and 7th. Ashland going to the outside of Ghali. Not going to be able to make it work for the moment. But that battle far from over here. Laps winding down. Here he goes looking to the inside of Yusuf Ghali. The 54 car going to give him a little room. Now he's not. He's going to really pinch him. But Jordan Ashland, big wiggle there. That is going to open up the door. Dylan Parker now to the outside. He'll try and take away the 7th spot as we've got smoking, maybe a blown engine up in front of them. That is Taylor Butcher Benjamin on the apron along with another race car. That is Brennan Hattery. Not sure what happened to Brennan, but that car pretty well destroyed. Let's see if we can find out here. Little collision down here out of turn number 2. No caution because they spun off. So he hits the wall, bounces down into Taylor Butcher Benjamin, hard into the inside wall. The one kind of ricochets off of it, not too bad, but I think that may be the race for Brennon, who remains on pit road. And laps winding down in stage 1. Keith Maotto's been able to take away second spot from Connor Horn. I knew they were close, but didn't know if they were going to be able to, if he was going to be able to pull it off. Dylan Parker now to the outside of Yusuf Ghali. He moves to 6th, and just a few laps to chase down the top 5. Look at this behind them. Adam Cabot up to 9th. He makes his way around Greg Wellen and Marcus Emerson to move into the top 10. Last week's winner, Eric Hutton, also climbing up a few spots here late in the stage, up to the 12th position. And looks like he's starting to close in on Marcus Emerson, so watch out for that 88 to make his move. As the 9 car of Jeremiah Vincent now to the inside of Jeremy Miller. Those two side by side out of turn 2. Dave Fair is in 16th behind them, starting to make up some ground here late in the stage. But just one lap remaining for Alec Martinez, who looks like he is on his way to winning his first stage of the season. And a little wiggle there for him, but a 1.2 second margin over Keith Maotto, who's really picked it up here. Just too little too late here in this stage, but Martinez, these kind of neon green and blue cars finishing 1-2. And Alec Martinez will win the stage. Keith Maotto 2nd. Connor Horn 3rd. He'll hang on to that, just edging out Jeff Wright. As the yellow flag will fly, and that will be the conclusion to stage number 1. Your top 8 finishers in the stage. Alec Martinez leading flag to flag there. 8 bonus points and a playoff point to add to his 3 from the race win at Michigan. Keith Maotto 2nd in the stage. Connor Horn 3rd. Jeff Wright 4th. AJ STRAVATO 5th. Dylan Parker moves to 6th there in the last couple of laps. Jordan Ashland 7th. Adam Cabot climbs all the way into 8th position and earns a stage point. Biggest mover of the race by far, up 16 spots. So watch out for that 77. He is on a charge here. As the field works under the first and only yellow flag so far for the stage break. No lead changes or anything. It's been that 18th car dominating performance to this point. As it looks like that is the wrong end of pit lane. Here they come. Make their way onto pit road. Check up a little bit there among the top 3. Connor Horn right on the back bumper of Keith Maotto. As they will pull into their pit boxes. Maybe a little overshot for a couple of them, including your race leader. And some of them missing pit lane altogether. Adam Cabot missing his stall. Yusuf Ghali pitted 3 laps ago. I think will be scored as your race leader. I'm not exactly sure how that is going to work out. But Greg Wellen also missing his box. Connor Horn wins the battle off pit road. Alec Martinez had to back up there, so I think Connor will inherit the race lead potentially. I'm not sure how this is going to shake out for him. I think he may have been a lucky dog. And it does appear to be the case. So the top 2 most likely going to have to come back down pit road unless they want to stay out there on 40-plus lap old tires. And that is a bit disappointing. I'm sure Cabot really not even knowing where his stall is, having started from the rear like that. So, unfortunate mistake, as he had climbed up 16 spots in the early going and now slides into his pit stall to get service completed. Connor Horn will take over the race lead. See if we can give a quick call to Talk to Jordan Ashland. He had a pretty good run going there in stage number 1. Give him a call up here.
Reggie?
Nope, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do. What's up?
Well, Jordan, you had a pretty great run there in stage number 1. You got some stage points at the end of it, and you know, you were hanging up there with those top 5 guys. How was the car feeling for you?
I was feeling all right. It was a little tight as it goes on in the run. It was getting a little loose out of turn 2 for some people, but I'm not sure what Yusuf was doing or what situation he's in. But once we got the caution and I pitted there, I really showed my true colors and missed my pit stall. So I'll have to work my way back up there.
Yeah, we saw a few drivers either miss the stall or slide through the box. So tricky pit road here, apparently. But you know, what's the goal here really to survive to the end of this race and you know, fuel and tires? What's kind of the strategy going forward?
It's going to be pretty close on fuel. I think everybody's going to make it, but if people aren't careful enough right now under caution, they might use up too much fuel under caution and not make it. So on one more stop.
Yeah, definitely something to keep our eye on. But got some work cut out for you here, but you got some speed in that race car. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, that is Jordan Ashland with a pretty good start to the race. A little mistake there on pit road. We'll see if he can recover from it here. And hopefully we didn't give him the commentator curse. Have to see how it all works out for him. But he'll be restarting in the 14th position. Connor Horn, your race leader, elects to take the outside lane. An interesting call there. We'll see how it works out for him. But leader of the race coming in was Alec Martinez. He slid through his box, and also Keith Mayato, who was second, slid through his box, and now they are 4th and 6th. And green flag back in the air, a little tire spin from the 48 as Connor Horn gets a good jump on the outside lane. He will pull out in front by a couple of car lengths and down into turn 1, and he is all by himself as they battle it out for that second spot. Dylan Parker up high, not able to get the momentum just yet, but he's got AJ STRAVATO on the back bumper, and Alec Martinez now moving up to 3rd right behind Jeff Wright. That's going to be a battle to watch. Here comes Dylan, though, challenging on that high side for 3rd. He's going to be able to make it work here on the first lap of the stage. Doesn't appear to have the momentum just yet, but able to hang right there on the quarter panel. And I think Alec maybe a little bit of right rear damage on that car. Not sure how he got that, but must have been on this restart. As big wiggle there for Keith Mayato. That is going to cost him some speed. And around goes Jeremiah Vincent in a 75 of Hattery, but Vincent up and over on his roof. Jeremiah Vincent ends up on all 4. No caution for that. Big hit for Jeremiah Vincent. And thankfully ended up on all 4s. But look at that. Gets loose across the nose of Cabot. And then down into the 75 of Caleb Hattery. And man, what a big tumble there. Let's go on board actually with Cabot through all of this. The nose cam here. What a close call for that, as they are currently battling it up for the race lead. He got loose himself, just a little tap, and he is able to hang on to it. Good job by Cabot to do so as he rides in 16th now, 3 wide with Eli Hinton and the 57 of Joe Stafford, but he'll work down to the inside and almost a little contact with Hinton right there, as now a little bit loose down on the inside lane, but able to hang on to it in the battle for the race lead side by side through 3 and 4. Jeff Wright, a big challenge up high. He'll have some speed out of turn 4 here. Can he pull alongside the 67 of Connor Horn? And at the stripe, it's still Connor, but they are closing in on a lap machine. And they're going to go to the outside. That's Jeremiah Vincent, who nearly makes contact. Connor really cutting it close right there. And 3 wide they went, and they survive now. Still 2 wide, though, for the race lead. You got a feel for Jeremiah, as well as Caleb Hattery. Both Hatteries involved in incidents here early on in this. And now side by side for the race lead. Not sure who had it at the line. Jeff Wright at the line by a couple thousandths of a second. But will he be able to hang on to it? Really wide there out of turn 2. He's going to try and side draft the 67, but he's all the way down by the apron. And into turn 3 still side by side, but Conor Horn with the advantage now. And here comes Alec Martinez, going to challenge for second position. He's to the inside of the 48. Meanwhile, Dylan Parker hanging on to 4th position, but let's take a look here. Alec Martinez does take away second, and now challenging for the race lead. Looking to the outside of Conor Horn. Does he have the speed down the backstretch? Not going to be able to get there just yet. Can't cross him over either. Right to the back bumper now through 3 and 4, but look at the speed in the center of the turn. Might be a little too much as he drifts right up to the outside wall, but putting a lot of pressure on Conor Horn. A little juke move there into turn 1. Now going to pull up about a half a lane, but Conor really good drive off that time by. And look at the big block towards the back there. Safe Fair is in the top 10, trying to hold off Eric Hutton, as they're kind of leading a small group here. The 54, the 22, 77 of Cabot charging back up after the pit road mistake and near miss with that last wreck. He's got to be thankful that he is still out here racing. But I should not speak too soon. A couple close calls even right there. And Alec Martinez still within striking distance. I can't let that 67 pull out in front. These two battling like they did at Dover 2 weeks ago, where Conor Horn came out on top. But both of these drivers definitely championship favorites. Martinez, the regular season champion from last season, and very strong performance in the playoffs as well. Conor, both of these drivers made it to the final 4, I believe, as Caleb Hattery now limping off pit road, 3 laps off the pace. As things have started to settle out just a bit. Looks like single file all the way back to Angelo Ronis and ELLIOTT Butler, but a big send by the 29 into turn number 3. Here comes Eddie Trejo down at the inside, and behind them, Greg Wellen, Taylor Butcher Benjamin racing it up for position 19th and 20th. Not sure what happened to Greg. Oh, he missed pit road as well. That's what happened. But not having the success climbing through the field as Adam Cabot has. He's up to 12th position. And the 67 of Conor Horn out in front by a car length over Alec Martinez. Another 2 car lengths back to Jeff Wright. Another car length and a half back to Dylan Parker. We see Keith Mayato's lost a few spots here. Finished second in stage 1. Right now rides in 8th, but so far a clean race. He gets passed up by Jordan Ashland, and probably looking to regroup, cool the tires a bit, and maybe try and grab some of these spots and make a charge towards the lead. But still plenty of time for these drivers to make something happen. As Jeremy Miller up here in the 6th spot. After starting in 17th, he's one of the biggest movers of the race. Speaking of big movers, Eric Hutton under fire from Adam Cabot, who is the biggest mover of the race. 13 spots right now, but he had already gained 16 at one point in this race. And once again, driving from the rear, going to the inside, though. Oh, and he's going to get right into the back bumper of Yusuf Ghali, who blocks him all the way to the grass. That's 10th and 11th position. Safe Fair is currently riding in 9th right there in front of them. up 10 spots from where he started. But things getting a bit feisty right here around the 10th position. And we'll see how long Cabot waits, or if he tries to make another move like that here in the next couple laps. Thank you for the follow, Dirty Bird 33. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying so far. Getting close to halfway here in the Virtual Racing League, and the battle is on up here now. Jeff Wright to second. He's taking it away from Alec Martinez. And a big block back there. Jordan Ashland out in front. Keith Matto went to go high, and now Ashland almost up into the door of Jeremy Miller. But these three fighting for position, as well as the drivers up towards the front. But Alec Martinez losing a little bit of steam here. Maybe pushed the car a little too hard in that dirty air. And now under fire from Dylan Parker as Keith Maoto to the outside of Jordan Ashland back here. These two have traded spots already a couple times this run. And side by side they go through 3 and 4. Maoto trying to get the power down in the high line, and is not able to get the momentum and keep that car all that wound up. As they remain side by side for 7th and 8th, and the drivers behind them starting to close in. You see Safe Ferris back there leading Adam Cabot, and Yusuf Gali Cabot able to make his way past. So up into the top 10 once again, and closing in on halfway. Definitely a strong run for that driver, the Magic Man. And Maoto does complete the pass on Jordan Ashland, so he'll move to 7th. Start his focus on the 30 car. Jeremy Miller. And now he'll actually make the move to the inside. Big run out of turn 2. Down to the inside here in 3 and 4. Has to check up just a little. Wasn't going to be able to make that pass. And here comes Jordan Ashland trying to make that move back on him. Keith going to pull a little bit of a block. Maybe Jordan just going to decide to push him here, rather. That appears to be the case. Doesn't look like much of a block from any of those angles, but up here for second. Thought it was going to be a pass or a battle there, but that's actually Jeremiah Vincent, who's now goes a second lap down with heavy damage after the car flipped. And somehow still running out here pretty far off pace, about 2.5 seconds off pace, but pretty impressive for a car that was on its roof and flying through the air about 15-20 laps ago. The 48 of Jeff Wright looked like he had closed in a bit, but still about a car length and a half back, maybe 2, from Connor Horn, who started to hang on to this top spot and really taking control of this race. But now the 48, big charge through 1 and 2. We've seen this a couple times from him. Getting closer and closer to the 67. And he's working about a half lane up, trying to get that fresh air and clean air to the front end of this race car. You can see he gains a little on entry, but losing a little bit on exit. And with the draft overall staying about the same, about a car length, maybe car length and a half back, as he goes a little high on entry. Maybe going to try and make the move here. Now closing in half car length back down the back straightaway. Can he make the jump out to the inside? And he's going to instead go right in the tire tracks of the 67, and that is not going to work for him. More aero push as Dylan Parker is closed in. The top 3 have broken away. Alec Martinez fading back to 4th. And AJ STRAVATO in 5th position, maybe waiting and saving his stuff. We'll have to see. But AJ, starting in 2nd tonight, has not been able to lead a lap yet. Has not been able to get really much higher than, well, he hasn't gotten higher than 2nd, but he has not really gotten much higher than 5th position, where he runs now for most of this race. But looks like Jordan Ashland did make the pass back on Keith Mayato, and Keith now falling towards the clutches of his teammate Safe Ferris in the 9th position. And a little battle farther back, that is the 13 of Eli Hinton. The 22 of Marcus Emerson. Nearly contact out of turn 2 as they both had a wiggle there. And into 3 and 4, Marcus drifts up the racetrack just a little bit. But these two remaining side by side, I think, doing a good job here. Down in turn number 1, side by side they go. Right now the 13 of Hinton with the advantage, but Marcus pulling back alongside. And Eli nearly up into the outside wall again. That allows Mark to get back to the inside. And same deal this time. He goes up the racetrack a little, but 13 a little bit too high, I think. Could be a real efficient or optimal line. And now the 57 of Joe Stafford is in this battle. We've got a battle up here brewing. The 27 of Jordan Ashland putting pressure on the 30. But Jeremy Miller and Dylan Parker has been able to take second away. We saw how fast Dylan was at the end of stage 1 and really starting to pour it on here in stage 2. Now about 30 laps into the run, about the same time that we saw that speed come on in that Chevy Camaro. And we've seen most of these drivers up here battle it out throughout this season and last season. And Reggie in the chat there bringing up how Jeff and Connor had gotten together at the Roval last season. Jeff going on to win that. Connor was in position to maybe take the victory. But they got together in the backstretch chicane. One of the real highlights, or one of the, most dramatic moments from last season. And they continue to race on, and ultimately Connor went to the Final Four. I'm not sure, I don't think Jeff was in that battle. But right now Connor leading this race out in front of Dylan Parker, Jeff Wright, Alec Martinez, AJ STRAVATO, the top 5, all up here within striking distance, then a little ways back to this 3-car group. Jeremy Miller, Jordan Ashland, Keith Mayato, and then Yusuf Ghali's been able to pass up Safe Ferris, and now safe 3 wide with Eric Hutton. And there goes Adam Cabot to the inside, maybe going to get a 2 for 1 here out of turn 4. Safe tries to cross him over, but I think he's lost some grip. The number 44 B-Speed Camaro. Side by side for the 10th position. Hutton has it, and Cabot wants it. And big wiggle back there, a little farther. Not sure who that was. I think maybe Dane Cruz with the big slide out of turn number 2. And Eli Hinton has really faded. He has caught the outside wall, and he actually has damage to the left side of that race car. Maybe that battle with the 22 car, Mark Emerson. Mark with the right side damage. Appears they've gotten together. Could be some drama there from those two later in the race. As we are past halfway, do a quick recap on tonight's event. 1 caution, 3 lead changes, and really just Connor Horn and Alec Martinez, your primary leaders. I'm not sure if anyone else has really even led. I think those two just trading the lead a couple times. Connor Horn has led 34 laps. Let's do a quick look through the field. Connor leading 34 laps, started 5th, up to the lead right now. Dylan Parker up 2 spots in a second, putting pressure on the race leader and having a great race so far. Jeff Wright has led 1 lap. He started 7th, up to 3rd right now. Alec Martinez, your pole sitter, he led the first 42 laps, lost the battle off pit road. Currently rides at 4th. AJ STRAVATO back from 2nd to 5th. Solid run going so far. Jeremy Miller up from 17th to 6th. A very good run. And climbed through the field. Keith Maotto back from 3rd to 7th right now after finishing 2nd in Stage 1. Jordan Ashland right where he started, pretty much 8th up from 9th. And Yusuf Ghali in 9th from 8th. So these two have traded positions throughout the first 80 laps. Adam Cabot up 14 spots into the top 10 after making the pass just a lap ago on Eric Hutton. And Hutton up 4 positions from 15th to 11th. Safe Fares up 7 spots from 19th to 12th. Angelo Ronis back 1 spot to 13th. Marcus Emerson back 3 spots and now with damage in 14th. Elliott Butler back 5 positions as he goes to make the pass on Mark Emerson. Not going to be able to complete it just yet. Greg Wellen back 10 positions after missing pit road during the stage end pit stops. And starting to climb his way back forward. Joe Stafford up 1 spot, but actually back to 18th right now. Dane Cruz back 3 positions as they battle for the spot here. Eddie Trejo up 6 positions to 19th. Eli Hinton back 4 spots after the contact with the 22. Taylor Butcher Benjamin back 11 positions. He was involved in the early incident on the backstretch. Lyle Sulfridge up 1 spot into 22nd. Jeremiah Vincent back 10 positions. Heavy damage, 2 laps down. And then Caleb Hattery 24th, 13 laps down out of the race. Brennan Hattery also out of the race, 47 laps off the leader. But Connor Horn still out in front and putting another lap on Jeremiah Vincent and putting some distance between himself and the 3-car pit stop. Should be coming up pretty soon for these drivers. Maybe in the next couple of laps. We'll have to see what they elect to do. Tire's really going to play a factor, though. The question is, what is that strategy call? Do you come early? Do you come late? It's going to be most effective as these drivers back here working past. Keith Maotto has gotten up to 6th now, passing up Jeremy Miller. And now here comes Yusuf Ghali as well. Adam Cabot climbing up through the field. He's going to try and make the pass on Jordan Ashland. That'll be for 9th spot. And he's trying to bring the 88 of Eric Hutton with him. Oh yeah, and you're right. Jeff Wright and Connor did get together at Dover of this season. Connor was climbing back up to the lead, and he drove into the back of the 48, and that cost Jeff the win. Not that he would have necessarily won, but here, speaking of the 48, he comes to pit road. First taker to the pit lane, and he's going to try and do the undercut and gain some of his track position back. He was starting to fall out of the top 5 and a little deep in the box, but should be all good. We'll see if anybody else comes down this time. Adam Cabot headed towards pit lane, really locking it up. Might have gotten a speeding penalty. Doesn't want to shoot himself in the foot for the 2nd time tonight. Already had to go to the rear after missing his pit stall. But Jeff Wright off and away. He's got some right front damage. Cabot getting the left sides put on. And off and away, so no penalty there. So good job to get down to speed. As here comes Connor Horn, Alec Martinez, and a few others. That hands the lead over to Dylan Parker, the number 3 machine. How much longer does he stay on the racetrack? As Horn, Martinez, STRAVATO, Yusuf Ghali, Jordan Ashland, Eddie Trejo, Jeff Wright, and Adam Cabot. Drivers making pit stops so far. Dylan trying to get slowed up here. We saw him practicing this practice before the race. Good job getting down to speed there. Keith Mayato also going to join him, and that hands the lead off to Safe Ferris, the 44, who's under pressure from Angelo Ronis. Those two battling for points position right now, tied 7th in the standings, and they will put a lap on Connor Horn. And here goes Jeff Wright. He performing the undercut, still a lap down, almost into the back of these leaders, as there goes Connor way to the high side. Angelo Ronis and Safe Ferris to the pit lane. Safe, really late decision. He's going to go and miss the pit lane. Going to be an unsafe pit entry for Safe Ferris, who pits from the race lead. And everybody else is joining him. But that is going to be very costly for the 44, who also overshoots his box. Greg Wellen, I believe, scored as race leader? Possibly? Nope. Angelo Ronis was the race leader at the line, but net leader, I think, is going to be Jeff Wright, who bypasses all these guys. 2-lap older tires than Connor Horn, who's just about a half second behind him. And then it is a bit of a gap back to Alec Martinez. Connor obviously having a very good pit cycle there. And that is one spot that we have seen the 67 be so strong in his victories here in the Virtual Racing League, seeming to make up seconds getting into and off of pit road. And look at this, all over the back bumper for the race lead. You know, these two have had run-ins with each other, but looks pretty casual right here. The 67 down to the inside. He's going to drive right on past Jeff Wright and back to the race lead, and this is going to be difficult for anyone to catch him, as the next closest car with the same tires is Alec Martinez. Dylan Parker with 1 lap fresher tires, but he is about 3 seconds back, which is going to be a real problem. I don't know if he's going to be able to make that up. Been quick, but maybe not quick enough to do something like that when Connor Horn is out in clean air. And 19 cars on the lead lap. They're going to put another one on Jeremiah Vincent, who will now go 5 laps down. Still trying to milk out as much as he can. And a couple drivers with issues there on the pit lane. Safe Ferris, ELLIOTT, Butler, both with penalties, and both scored 1 lap down at the moment. And no natural yellow flags, just the stage break, as we have a battle for third. Rather, that was the 18 passing the 9, but battle could be brewing here in just a few moments. Dylan Parker has picked up a half second on your race leader, and constantly running about a 10th or 2 faster. Also, Keith Mayato running a little bit faster than your race leader. He's got 1 lap fresher tires than the 67. Also in that boat, Eric Hutton, the 88 machine. Although I thought they had pitted on the same lap, so I'm not exactly sure. Maybe Connor just saving a little bit here. But he is out to a 1 second lead over Jeff Wright, who has faded a little bit. 2 lap older tires. And he is starting to get reeled in. Alec Martinez in third, chasing him down. This could very well come down to who saves the tires the best. Still lots of time left in this race, and it will be a little over 40 laps to the end of it. We saw how well The 18 maintained his tires during the first stint, during stage 1. We'll see if he can do the same thing here in stage number 2 and try and track down Connor Horn. The gap 1.7 seconds as they head towards the start-finish line here, lap number 97. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now STRAVATO with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
Back at the racetrack now. Really not a whole lot has changed other than Dylan Parker has moved to second spot and currently running the fastest laps of anyone on the racetrack. He's passed Alec Martinez and nearly up into the outside wall right there. You can tell how hard he is pushing it, but across the line that time just 100th faster than Connor Horn. So really pushing it is the number 3 machine. You got to be concerned that he might burn his stuff up too quickly here. Down the back straightaway, though, he's been very good on this end of the racetrack. It seems he makes up most of his time here in 3 and 4. And Connor is kind of driving smooth and taking it easy out here. Got a huge gap to rely on, but 28 laps to go. Anything can happen in this race, and no guarantee that he's going to be able to hold on to that kind of a margin, especially with these two behind him being able to kind of draft off of each other. Although Alec kind of fading a bit behind Dylan Parker. AJ STRAVATO, he's here in the mix in 5th or 4th position. Everybody's really been able to work past Jeff Wright, who is a little bit slower than the rest of the group up here. He's going to be under fire from Keith Maiato, looking for his first good run of the season. Had a real rough start to things here in the virtual racing league, but trying to pick that up here this week, and very strong run to this point in the evening. Another strong run, Adam Cabot, even with the pit road mistake and having to come from the rear, he is up to 8th position once again, and definitely biggest mover, probably passed the most cars so far under green in tonight's race. So some drivers to keep your eye on, but right now really nobody going to be able to catch Connor Horn other than maybe Dylan Parker and Alec Martinez. I think everybody else is just too far back. And Connor really earned that margin through getting on and off of pit road incredibly well. His overall time on pit lane was actually longer than Dylan Parker's, because Dylan really got in there very, very well, but it must have been the in-lap and the out-lap were that much better, and that's the difference right there. 1.6 seconds and 25 laps to go. Connor Horn looks like he is going to be at least without a challenge for a while, unless we get a yellow flag. but could be concerned, that he's using his stuff up too quickly. The lap time's really starting to equalize between the 3 and the 67, and Alec Martinez right there in lap times as well. STRAVATO fastest on the track last time by, but currently 3.7 seconds back, and not really gaining much per lap. He would have to be a much longer race at that kind of a pace to get up there. But if you are enjoying tonight's broadcast, please consider following or subscribing, and also check us out at all these different social media outlets: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can find out when we're going live throughout the week. Right now we are broadcasting Wednesday and Thursday nights right here on Twitch. You can find race replays on our YouTube channel, also V-Speed. You can find us also on YouTube with real world automotive content at V-Speed Garage. Go check us out over there. And if you're interested in any of our sponsors, we've got them all in the About section below the channel here. A lot of affiliate sponsors. Use the links from those images down below. We got Rick's Camaro, Emmanuel Online, also Mavics gaming chairs, and also Autonomous.ai. You can check those ones out. They've got some great sit-stand desks and more. You can use the referral code R-VSpeed for those. As we had a change for position back here, I think Jeremy Miller able to get past Eric Hutton, or maybe he is trying to hold him off, but either way, Adam Cabot in 8th position right there in front of him, doing a great job so far, but he has older tires than those two, so he's going to have to be careful as those two will start to close in here. But they go side by side. That is 9th and 10th position. And no other battles on the racetrack for the moment. But it is the 88 and 30 side by side into turn 1. Miller going to be able to keep it wound up high, but good run through the center there by Eric Hutton, as he is going to pull out with the nose in front, actually down the backstretch, and it looks like Jeremy might just hand it over to him. Kind of a surprising move there, but maybe better to go single file. Try and work towards the front. So Eric Hutton moves into the 9th position. No other changes around the racetrack. Everybody single file and fairly well spread out. Eddie Trejo within striking distance of the 57 of Joe Stafford. That's the next closest battle on the racetrack, just under 0.2 of a second separating these ones, 16th and 17th. So for an Atlanta race where it is slippery, and speaking of slippery, the 13 of Eli Hinton, who has had a rough go of it here in this second half of the race, in the 19th spot, and heavy damage all around the race car. It's gone from bad to worse for Hinton, who got put into the outside wall, I believe, by the 22. We didn't catch it on camera, but they were side by side, and when we looked back afterwards, both of them with damage in what seemed to be the correct spots. So 13 really struggling here, though, and going a lap down. Next car to go a lap down would be Taylor Butcher Benjamin, but he is currently about 13 seconds up the road from your race leader, as he comes out of turn 2. Connor Horn just across the start finish line. A long ways to go for Connor to get to the number 1 car, and the lead is shrinking. Dylan Parker still chopping into it a little bit every lap, but he is really having to wring every ounce of speed and grip out of that race car. Get a bit of a wiggle there out of turn number 2, cost him a little speed. And let's actually go on board here with Dylan, who's had a heck of a race. really managing that throttle well, and that time by about a tenth faster than your race leader. So he's got something in that Camaro. 1 lap fresher tires might be what it is. He has led 1 lap in tonight's race. That was kind of the overcut, but it seems to be working right now. He's saved them well enough, and he has been one of the fastest, if not the fastest car on the long runs, but got to be able to manage and get there and still have enough to make the pass. And right now he is faster. He's going to have to find even more than that. Laps winding down with under 15 to go. And look at that big wiggle there. That's going to cost him some speed. That might actually cost him about a couple laps worth of gains. Conor Horn down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Clear sailing out in front. The next car up there, I think, is 6 of Elliott Butler, who's just a lap car already. And then Safe Farah is another lap car up in front of him. And then Eli Hinton, or rather Taylor Butcher Benjamin. But that is well up the road. From the 67, Conor Horn trying to get win number 2 after winning at Dover earlier this season. The lead once again down to about 1.2 seconds. So Dylan Parker may be starting to get a little bit of draft in the back of the 3 machine, or the 67 machine rather. A little battle back here for 4th and 5th. Keith Maiato is reeled in. AJ STRAVATO starting to put the 33 under pressure. Can Keith get up there to the 4th spot? These two pretty far back from 3rd. Stravato's had a pretty good race here. Keith has had a very good race. Both of them finishing in the top 5 in stage number 1. And right now set to finish in the top 5 even as they run. And Jeff Wright fading a little bit. He's going to be under pressure from Yusuf Ghali here shortly. The 54 with the left rear damage. The 48 with the right side damage. Probably somewhat equalized, as also Cabot has been able to hold off Eric Hutton, and Jeremy Miller has faded quite a ways back, but Cabot on the older tires than Hutton and Miller. Done a great job holding on to the 8th position, the Camping World Camaro, the biggest mover of the night. As here goes that battle for the 4th position. Stravato trying to hang on to it. Keith down low, trying to get that speed, but not able to get the pass completed just yet across the start-finish line. Dead even. And through turns 1 and 2, Keith really low there by the white line. AJ up high, and so difficult to exit the turn this point in the run. Just like that. And meanwhile, Dylan Parker down to under a second behind Conor Horn. That time by about a 1/10.5 faster. So Conor either saving and waiting, as we are closing in on 5 laps to go. They are just knocking these out. No cautions for wrecks. We've had 2 crashes, but they did not generate yellow flags. Keith Maiato, huge slide right there, as he was trying to work the high lane. No grip up on that high side. But he's going to have to go back to the drawing board there and try and chase down Stravato the old-fashioned way, using that inside line. And this could end up being a battle for the win, as Dylan Parker 8/10 back. Just 300ths off the lead that time by. It'll be 5 to go next time around. And Dylan Parker get up there and challenge Conor Horn, who it's basically his race to lose. It would be a heck of a drive from Dylan Parker to be able to do that. And that time out of turn 4, not sure if he gained a whole lot that time around. Actually, about 600ths of a second. I still don't think that's enough. He's going to have to double that at least. to be able to get there, and he is really going to have to push that race car, and it may just not have the grip left for him, as the gap is kind of stabilized here at 3/4 of a second. And now coming to 4 laps to go. Connor Horn able to hang on to this top spot. Dylan Parker chasing. That time around was about 9/100ths slower, so almost a 1/10 of a second. And just not gaining now that he's gotten into the wake of the 67. He had all that clean air for so long. Basically what Connor was dealing with. Now that he's gotten into kind of that margin where the dirty air does start to affect you, he's started to fall off just a little bit here. That time around a little faster, just 2/100ths of a second. It's not going to be enough. 3 laps remaining. We do have the lap car in the way. That is Jeremiah Vincent. But he's going to get down on the apron here and try and not affect this battle for the win. Is Connor Horn going to put him another lap down? Jeremiah to the apron right here. Almost up into the path of Dylan Parker. At turn number 4 that time around. At the line, Connor a 31.98. Dylan a 31.88, so a 1/10 faster, but gonna be too much. And Jeff Wright on pit road. Jeff Wright is on pit road here to close things out. He may have run out of gas or very low, but that is going to cost him a top 10 finish, as Connor Horn coming to take the white flag at Atlanta Motor Speedway, out in front by 3/4 of a second. Dylan Parker, try as he might, I don't think he's going to get there. Going to really require a whole lot more than that. Adam Cabot around, coming to the tri-oval. Oh boy, this was what happened here, side by side with Yusuf Ghali. He went down low, tried to pull a slide job, I think. Not quite clear off the nose of Yusuf. And either way, Connor Horn out of turn 4. He's going to win at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Victory number 2, Connor Horn. The Atlanta 195 for the Virtual Racing League Cup Series. 83 laps led in a dominating performance in the second half. Dylan Parker not able to track him down. And disaster striking for a couple of drivers who came into the race very high in the points. They're going to finish 17th and 18th respectively. Adam Cabot 17th, Jeff Wright 18th. Connor Horn making his way around here, the victory lap. Very clean and exciting race at the front of the pack for a lot of the event. And then Connor really, he drove away with it, but Dylan tried to make it interesting there. Not quite enough to get up and get the win, but well-earned victory for the 67 as he tears it down here on the front stretch. And we are going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the top 3 interviews. V-Speed is proud to be partnered with Below the Double Yellow podcast, a podcast for NASCAR fans by NASCAR fans. Listen to Nick and Joe discuss all the latest on-track action, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. V-Speed is also proud to present the 2021 Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, brought to you by the American Trucking Association, starting January 14th, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursdays at twitch.tv/VSpeedSim. And back at the racetrack now, going to be pulling up our race winner for tonight's event. Connor Horn, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4.
Well, Connor, win number 2 in race number 4. You're off to a heck of a start here in the 2021 Cup Series, the Virtual Racing League. How did you get it done here tonight at Atlanta?
Getting the lead off the pit road under a stage break. That's really all it took. That didn't take much to keep the lead from there. How the setup was, hitting the track. Dirty air was worse than ever. Just really hard to pass after 5 laps. That's why I ran Alex so hard first 8 laps or so that we were side by side and all that. I was trying to get the clean air, and I didn't get it. Fell to 3rd at the stage, and I don't know what happened on pit road, but I was able to get the lead. Alec maybe missed a stall or something, and I got the lead ahead of Jeff, and I kept Jeff at bay. And once it starts getting tight, once the setup starts getting tight after 5 laps, you can't pass. So after that, it was just really managing the fuel, because fuel was close. Obviously, I only made it by a lap. I barely had fuel left for burnouts, but yeah, just all about the track position tonight, and I was lucky to get that at the right time when the green flag run set in, and was able to hold on fuel wise and hold off Dylan.
Yeah, we saw right from the get-go you were up there attacking, trying to get the race lead away early on. You couldn't quite get it, in that first stage, but it was a heck of a battle up there between you and Alec all race long. And yeah, just kind of talk us through, racing there in that first stage and getting it done there.
3rd was all right, but obviously wanted more from how we ran pit parties in practice. We knew you weren't going to really be able to pass unless you absolutely dump someone, which I already did that, so I don't want to do that again. But I got the second. I got the second, starting 5th, and I was immediately just going to attack Alec, and I knew he wasn't going to give me the bottom, because obviously if he gives me the bottom, I'm just going to blow by him and he's going to be stuck in 2nd. So I went to the outside and did everything I could to stay on his door and maybe suck him around. And I just couldn't hold him down enough, even though he got really loose. And then obviously I wore the tires off of battling him like I did. And he got away, and I couldn't keep with him. I almost hit the wall out of 4 numerous times in that run. And then I made a mistake letting Keith get to my outside. I thought he'd only be able to pass me on the bottom, but once these tires wear out and the dirty air really sets in, passing on the top was the main option. So it's unfortunate that I didn't finish better stage. It was just a really tough race overall. Really hard to do anything if you weren't in the lead on a restart or off a pit road or anything like that. So just a really tough race all around.
Yeah, but taking advantage when you could. A great set of sequences there on pit road, and you come away with the race lead and end up winning your 2nd victory of the season. We go to Sonoma in a couple weeks, next week being the off week, but you're pretty good on the road courses. How are you feeling about going out there?
As long as the setup is, hopefully I got a good setup, because I struggle with keeping the rear tires on it a lot of the time at Sonoma, and the set was really tough for me to drive the last time we were there. And if I can keep the rear tires on it, I'll have a good shot at winning. But I know Jeff is king of Sonoma right now. He's been really good there in other leagues, and just in general, he's really fast there. So we'll be looking to beat him, hopefully. And as long as I'm able to drive it, I hope to be up there battling for the win. But Sonoma's always a tough one.
Yeah, definitely one of the more difficult road courses on the schedule, but going to be excited to see you and Jeff duke it out on a road course again. Bring back some memories from last year. But anyways, congrats on the victory here. A great drive from you from 5th to the lead. 83 laps led, and you take home the victory. Anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Just a shout out to my whole team. Eli Hinton, he got a little bit of an incident there. Yusuf Ghali, Jeremy Miller, Baffert, who was spotting Yusuf. Thanks to them. We gave good insight to each other in practice about what the car was doing and where he needed to be to have a good run. And, obviously we all tried to put that to good use, and I was just lucky enough to get the clean air when it mattered the most. And they kind of got more back in the dirty air. So glad to have them, to work with them this season, and hope we can get some more wins.
Sir, fun to watch you out here tonight. Congrats on the win, and we'll catch you in a couple weeks.
Yes, sir. See you there. Thanks for everything you do.
Thank you. That's Connor Horn, your race winner. We're going to go to 2nd place, Dylan Parker, who, try as he might, was not able to get there. Dylan Parker, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, Dylan, I believe 2nd podium finish in a row for you. Heck of a race tonight. You started fourth. You kind of faded there in the midsection, and as the end of stage 1 approached, you started climbing back up, and that same speed carried over to stage 2. You almost chased him down there in the end. What could you have maybe done differently, or to get up there and maybe challenge for this thing?
Well, first thing I could have done differently was pit with Connor, because I was going with the same old strategy that when you used to use in every single mile and a half race, pit like one lap after, get that tire strategy in your favor. But with the dirty air right now, you just can't do that. So that was my biggest mistake. I should have pit with him, come out right with him, and try to pass him with the draft right as soon as we came out of pit road. But just didn't do that. Wasn't thinking about that at the time. Can't do it now, sadly, but was definitely trying to chase him down there in the final part of the race, but just couldn't get close enough with that dirty air and worn tires.
Yeah, that seems to be the story that even Connor was saying there for stage 1. It was very difficult to make anything happen unless you had control at the front of the field. But man, you were I think about over 3 seconds behind, and you got down to about 3/4 of a second, and I think that's about when the dirty air kicks in. But
yeah.
Heck of a drive for you here, and just talk about managing those tires. You saw a lot of drivers slipping and sliding, and then also getting tight. Really, what was it like to drive out there?
Well, it was really balanced. It's just if you managed it well. If you was pushing it away into the corner, it could be really loose, and if you push it a different way, it'd be really tight. So it was really just all if you could find the sweet spot, and it'd be super balanced and it handled super well, which I found that. And it was working really well for me after about the end part of the first stage. Right before that, because I started catching the guys ahead of me, and the second stage I used it again, and I was really fast up there in the top 3. So it was just all about managing your tires and not trying to push it too hard in certain places.
Yeah, and that definitely looks like it bit a few guys here tonight, but not you. You end up second place, and then we get next week off, but in 2 weeks we go to Sonoma. How are you feeling about the road course?
Well, I know I'm not winning that. We got some really good road course racers in here. I'm just hoping for a top 5. That's going to be hard to do because there's a ton of them in here that are just really good. And road courses here lately for me haven't been that nice to me, so just going to try to get top 5, get some stage points maybe, and just leave there with decent points day.
Well, you're on quite a hot streak. It'd be good to see you get another podium out there, but 2 podiums in a row. Second place here tonight, and really an overall great performance from you. Anybody want to give a shout out to for the runner-up?
I'd like to give a shout out to Reggie and all the admins for putting on a great league every week, and you for doing an awesome broadcast, and all my teammates, JVM and VMS, all they're really good guys.
Awesome, Dylan. Well, congrats on second again, and we'll catch you in 2 weeks at Sonoma.
Thank you.
All right, that was Dylan Parker, second place finisher, and let's go to third place finisher, a pole sitter for tonight's race. Alec Martinez, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, Alec, you start on the pole. You dominate stage 1. A little pit road mistake seemed to have cost you there maybe in stage 2, but you were up there battling for it really hard. A lot of fun to watch. Give us a rundown of your race and how the car was for you.
Yeah, the car was good. Yeah, I don't know, I just misjudged my pit box on the stage top, and that kind of was all she wrote there. I mean, the clean air was the just key to this race. If you could see, I don't know. I just missed the pit box and kind of messed up any shot at the win there, really. But the car was fast. Starting on pole was definitely a big help for the stage win. So, I don't know. Just kind of disappointed in myself that I messed it up, and I could have hopefully gave Connor a challenge on that second stage, but it is what it is. 3 out of the last 4 have been talking to you guys, so if we can keep that up, that's a good momentum building up points for the the regular season championship. So we'll see what happens. Just clean air was the name of the game today, and just didn't have it at the end. But hope we put on a show for all the viewers. So trust me, we tried our best. But man, these cars really they really hold us to our ability to try to drive them as hard as we can, kind of.
Yeah, definitely heard the same thing from those top two. Clean air, name of the game. And definitely good points night for you, though. You're the points leader coming in. You win the first stage. You don't lead the most laps, but you lead a lot here. And, those bonus points very beneficial moving forward. I think you'll hang on to the top spot in the points and maybe even extend your margin. So, from that perspective, definitely a good run. And, we have next week off. 2 weeks from now is Sonoma. What are your thoughts on going out there?
I love that track. It's such a good track. It's awesome track. Just, we can actually brawl there and, road course racing. It's always fun to change it up, do something new. Or not new, really, just different. Man, Sonoma's such a old surface track. Really eats up the tire. You can really just wheel the car, and I love that about Sonoma. I'm really excited to go there. So I know Conor's pretty good there. So hopefully I can, keep my points distance on Conor, because that's who I really have to worry about, and definitely with the guys behind me, because, anybody can make a charge. So we'll see what happens here. But definitely excited for Sonoma. I hope we're running the couple out. If not, fine with the carousel. So, and we got low downforce, thank God. So it'll be good.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. It's definitely one of the most difficult tracks to run these cars on, but that makes it exciting for sure. So we'll see what you can do out there, see if you can follow up a third place from tonight's race. And anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, guys, in a broadcast, Adam, you do a great job just by yourself. Broadcasts are always great. I always love watching them after. Reggie, Jeremiah, Elliott, Marcus for, putting this thing up. And, all the drivers in here today. With 2 races in a row, caution free without the stages. So shout out to all of them. Got some clean and green racing in. And then my teammates, Angela Ronis, Jordan Ashland, and Mark Emerson, again, for all the pit strategy and all that stuff. So, and to all the viewers, for you guys watching out there, we appreciate you guys' support. And, we try to put on the best show we can for you guys. So we hope you enjoy it. And we'll definitely try to put on a good show for you guys in Sonoma.
Yes, sir. A lot of fun tonight. Thanks for putting on a show. And we'll catch you then in Sonoma.
Hey, thank you, Adam.
All right, that was third place finisher Alec Martinez. Let's go to the rest of the field rundown for tonight's race at Atlanta. That is not what I wanted to bring up. There we go. Connor Horn, your race winner, started in 5th, and he leads basically the entirety of stage number 2, other than a couple of laps here and there from the pit cycles. Dylan Parker tried to chase him down, couldn't quite get there. He finishes in 2nd place. Great run for him. Alec Martinez, your pole sitter, just heard from him. He finished in 3rd position here tonight. AJ Stravato 4th, and Keith Mayato with a much-needed top 5 after a very rough start to the season. Eric Hutton, last week's winner, he ends up in 6th spot here tonight. Yusuf Ghali finishes in 7th. 8th position was Angelo Ronis. 9th position, strong run for Jordan Ashland. Rounding out the top 10, Greg Wellen with a good recovery after the pit issue early on. 11th position, Mark Emerson. 12th, Jeremy Miller. 13th, Dane Cruz. 14th, Joe Stafford. 15th, Eddie Trejo. 16th, Taylor Butcher Benjamin. 17th, Adam Cabot, after going around, coming to the white flag off the nose of Yusuf Ghali. Jeff Wright running out of fuel late. He finishes in 18th. Eli Hinton finishes in 19th, rounding out the top 20. Safe Ferris with his issue on pit road late in the going. Elliott Butler finishes 21st. 22nd, Jeremiah Vincent, able to muscle out the rest of the laps here tonight. And then in 23rd, it was Lyle Sulfridge. 24th, Caleb Hattery. 25th, Brennon Hattery. Going to round out your field here tonight. But once again, Connor Horn, your race winner. The 2nd time this season. Want to thank everybody for coming on out. We're going to be back tomorrow night with the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live from Talladega. You won't want to miss it. And we're going to be off next Wednesday, but we will be back here next Thursday as well. So if you enjoyed the race, consider following, subscribing. Thank everyone who has come on board over the last couple of years and really grown the channel and supported us here. I really appreciate all that. Check us out at all these different social media outlets, as well as the different services we offer over at vspeedsim.com. We are going to jump in with Blake McCandless, aka Mr. F4 Speed, and hope you enjoy his content. And we will catch you all in a couple weeks.